CHED Commissioner Cynthia Rose Bautista disclosed that an 8 billion peso transition fund has been proposed in the 2016 national budget to cover the displacement of teachers as non-teaching personnel with the full implementation of the K-12 program next year. Bautista stressed that the allocation will guarantee the Commission on Higher Education will have the funding if Congress fails to pass the 29 billion peso tertiary transition education fund. Bautista reported that the CHED's progress in addressing the issue of displacement with the K-12's full implementation before the House Committee on Higher Education chaired by Congressman Roman Romulo. Freddie Abando reports.
The Committee on Education has included an 8 billion peso allocation in the proposed 2016 national budget to cover displaced teachers from higher educational institutions with the full implementation of the K-12 program. This was disclosed by CHED Commissioner Cynthia Rose Bautista in today's oversight hearings of the House Committee on Higher Education chaired by Congressman Roman Romulo. Bautista said the fund will benefit close to 14,000 college teachers and non-teaching personnel numbering almost 12,000. It will fund scholarships and other opportunities for those displaced by the transition. The transition fund will cover those displaced from private institutions in state and universities have subsidies to deal with displacements. This ensures CHED will have the funds if Congress fails to approve the 29 billion tertiary transition education fund. This will address the displacement since many professors may not be hired for junior and senior high school. Romulo is hoping that the full implementation of K-12 will not lead to mass dislocation of college professors and non-teaching personnel.
When you refer to the 13,000 to be possibly displaced, how did you get this figure?
Okay, the 13,000 to be possibly displaced, we actually looked at the GE loading.
Yes.
We looked at the fact of GE load. And then we actually classified them by tenure. So permanent faculty with only teaching GE, permanent faculty teaching some GE. For the permanent faculty teaching only GE, about 30% will be displaced of that faculty. For those teaching some GE, that's about 10%. Some GE is almost everybody. A lot of the faculty are teaching some GE. Then we looked at that probationary and temporary because these are the ones you get. They are more or less the ones you are considering eventually for tenure under probation.
The Department of Education will also establish green lanes to prioritize the hiring of displaced teachers. Another 30,000 teachers will be hired to teach junior and senior high. Bautista said that aside from the Green Lane, the Department of Labor would also offer other programs to include income support, employment facilitation, training, and livelihood. Congressman Sherwin Gatchalian stressed next year's budget outlay for education will address other major concerns to include classrooms, teachers, and textbooks for the smooth and successful implementation of the K-12 program.
And for the transition fund, it's very important to have that fund in place as soon as possible and to put that in the 2016 budget. We have to just that all of those items are spelled out. No? We don't want to make it look like a pork barrel of the K-12. So I think the law is quite detailed, no, in terms of itemizing all the things necessary for the transition fund.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.